It was a quiet afternoon in a small English village. The sun was warm and the birds were singing. A young woman named Lucy sat in the garden with a book. The book was about Agatha Christie and her famous detectives. Lucy loved detective stories. She smiled and said, "I like Hercule Poirot. He is very clever." Her friend Tom came into the garden. He had a cup of tea in his hand. "What are you reading?" he asked. "I am reading about Agatha Christie," Lucy said, "and her two famous characters, Poirot and Miss Marple." Tom sat down. "Ah, yes, I know them. Poirot is small and very neat, and Miss Marple is an old lady from a village." Lucy nodded. "Yes, but do you know something interesting?" "What?" Tom asked. "Agatha Christie did not feel the same about them," Lucy said. Tom looked surprised. "Really? I thought she loved both of them." Lucy closed her book and said, "Let me tell you a story." Many years ago, Agatha Christie sat in her room. She had a pen in her hand and a notebook on the table. "I need a new story," she said quietly. Her husband looked at her. "Will it be a story about Poirot again?" he asked. Agatha sighed. "Yes, maybe. People like him." "Do you like him?" her husband asked. Agatha smiled a little. "Sometimes." At that moment, in her imagination, two figures appeared in the room. One was a small man with a big mustache. He stood very straight. "Madame," he said, "I am ready for a new case." Agatha looked at him. "Ah, Poirot, you are always ready." The second figure was an old lady with kind eyes. She sat quietly in a chair. "Good afternoon," she said softly. "I hope I am not late." "Miss Marple, you are never late." Poirot looked at Miss Marple. "Madame, I do not think we have met," he said. Miss Marple smiled. "No, we have not, but I have heard about you." Poirot lifted his chin. "Of course, everyone knows Hercule Poirot." Agatha watched them and laughed quietly. Back in the garden, Tom smiled. "This is a funny story," he said. Lucy laughed too. "Yes, but listen." Agatha looked at Poirot. "You are very famous," she said. Poirot nodded. "Yes, I am the best detective." Miss Marple looked at him and said, "You are very clever, but people are also important." Poirot frowned. "I know people. I use my little gray cells." Miss Marple shook her head. "I watch people. I listen. People are often the same, everywhere." Agatha listened carefully. Poirot walked around the room. "I like order," he said. "Everything must be clean and correct." Miss Marple smiled. "In my village, things are not always clean and correct, but I understand people there." Agatha thought for a moment. "Poirot," she said, "you are very strong. You think a lot." "Yes," Poirot said proudly. "And Miss Marple," Agatha said, "you are quiet, but you see everything." Miss Marple nodded. "I try." Agatha sat down and wrote something in her notebook. Tom asked, "So she made them very different?" "Yes," Lucy said, "very different." In the room, Poirot spoke again. "Madame, I think I am your best character." Miss Marple looked at Agatha, but said nothing. Agatha smiled. "You are very popular, Poirot." "Of course," he said. "But sometimes—" Agatha stopped. "Sometimes what?" Poirot asked. "Sometimes you talk too much," she said. Poirot looked shocked. Madame, Miss Marple laughed softly. Agatha continued, and sometimes you are a little difficult. Poirot crossed his arms. I am perfect. Miss Marple said kindly, no one is perfect. Agatha looked at Miss Marple and smiled more warmly. And you? She asked. What do you think, Miss Marple? Miss Marple thought for a moment. I do not think I am special, she said. I only know people. I see small things. Agatha nodded. Yes, that is true. Tom said, so she liked Miss Marple more. Lucy said, maybe, but it is not so simple. Days passed. Agatha wrote many stories. Again and again, Poirot came back. One evening, Agatha closed her notebook and said, Oh, Poirot. He appeared again. Yes, madame? I am tired, she said. Tired? He asked. Yes, I write many stories about you. People always want more. Poirot smiled. That is good. Agatha sighed. But I want to write other things too. Poirot looked at her. But I am your best detective. Agatha said nothing. Miss Marple came into the room slowly. Are you tired? She asked gently. Agatha nodded. Yes. Miss Marple sat next to her. Then you must rest. Poirot said, No, no, we must work. There is always a new mystery. Agatha smiled a little. You see? This is the problem. Miss Marple smiled too. In the garden, Tom laughed. Poor Agatha! Yes, Lucy said. Poirot was very popular, but sometimes she did not enjoy writing about him. Back in the room, Agatha said, Poirot, you are famous. People love you. Yes, he said happily. But Miss Marple? Agatha looked at her. Yes, Miss Marple asked. You are calm, you are kind, you feel real. Miss Marple smiled. Thank you. Poirot said, I am real too. Agatha laughed. Yes, Poirot, you are real in your way. Miss Marple stood up. I think people like stories about home, about small places, about people they know. Agatha nodded. Yes, that is true. Poirot said, people also like big cases and clever thinking. That is also true, Agatha said. Tom asked, did she ever choose one? Lucy thought for a moment. I think she needed both. One day, Agatha sat alone again. She said quietly, Poirot is strong, clever, and famous. Then she said, Miss Marple is quiet, kind, and wise. She smiled. Maybe I am a little like Miss Marple, she said. At that moment, Miss Marple appeared again. Did you call me? She asked. Agatha laughed. No, but I was thinking about you. Miss Marple sat down. That is nice. Agatha said, I think I understand you better. Miss Marple smiled. Because you know people. Agatha nodded. Poirot suddenly came into the room. And me? He asked. Agatha looked at him and smiled. You are my problem, she said, but she laughed. Poirot looked confused. Your problem? Yes, she said, but also your success. Miss Marple laughed softly again. The sun was going down in the garden. Tom finished his tea. So, what is the answer? He asked. Lucy smiled. The answer is simple, she said. She liked both of them. But? Tom asked. But Poirot was her work, and Miss Marple was closer to her heart. Tom nodded slowly. I understand. Lucy opened her book again. I think I like Miss Marple more too, she said. Tom smiled. "And I like Poirot." They both laughed, and the garden was quiet again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. See you next time.